Yeah. Good morning, one and all. This is Sriram Sharma, Assistant Professor in EEE Department and Innovation Ambassador, Institution Innovation Council, Motorola Engineering College. Today's speaker, Distinguished Chairman, our beloved Principal, Dr. D. Hanumantrao Garu, Dr. G. Ravindranath Garu, the convener of this program, other heads of the departments, senior professors, faculty members, students, and participants from other organizations. Once again, very good morning to one and all. I, on behalf of EEE Department, Motorola Engineering College, consider it a unique privilege given to me to extend a warm welcome to all for the most awaited session.
Sharma.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The most awaited session on importance of IPR for building a product-based startup by Mr. V. Rajesh Garu. And before going to the session, I request our HOD sir to speak few words on this program.
Good morning to one and all. I welcome Mr. V. Rajesh, Managing Partner for Bid Rights IP Partners, to deliver the information about this IPR for startup. But being this technocrat, I'm not a technocrat, I'm not a businessman, because this intellectual property rights, which are intangible, we cannot feel, we cannot touch it anywhere, but this has become very vital for new business roles, and people are not aware of these intelligent properties, how to protect their intelligence, new ideas, so that the business can flourish, and these intelligent properties cannot be stolen by unauthorized persons. So I think Mr. Rajesh has been good in giving this intellectual property rights protection. I think please, Mr. Rajesh, throw some useful information to our faculty, students, so that their ideas can be protected once they become entrepreneurs or business people. I invite you to this the webinar, please. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I take it as a great privilege given to me to introduce today's speaker, Mr. V. Rajesh Garu, to the audience. So, Mr. V. Rajesh is an experienced IPR professional and has, for the better part of his 20 years career, dedicated his life to offering sincere, focused and dedicated IPR solutions to a diverse client base. He has worked with many startups, medium-sized enterprises, and large corporate organizations. And the mark he has always left is that of committed quality, excellence, and professionalism. His proven ability to make firms see an upsurge in the productivity using robust, reliable, and tailor-made IPR solutions has made him the right professional to consult for firms that are looking forward to establishing reliable short, medium, and long-term investment plans. Besides ensuring that the quality of IPR services mark is felt in IP procedures such as search, filing, prosecution, there is also need to ensure that the quality value is felt post-registration scenarios. Thanks to Mr. Rajesh Garu, many years of professional commitment and perseverance, he has ensured that clients are offered solutions that exactly match their needs and provide them with reliable, proactive solutions. Clients who have had one-on-one experience with Mr. V. Rajesh Garu expertise have always been filled with immense delight, and that can only confirm that value and quality never miss in his IPR solutions and service delivery. Rajesh IPR expertise has been felt in many parts of the globe. Besides working in his native India, he has been contacted on numerous occasions to help in developing IPR solutions for law firms in countries such as the UK, USA, and the United Arab Emirates. In India alone, he has dealt with close to 4,000 brands, and that can show us his true service mark when it comes to IPR services. Mr. V. Rajesh sir clients in India are spread across cities such as Bangalore, Chennai, Coimbatore, Mumbai, and Hyderabad. Outside India, some of his clients come from high-end locations such as Dubai. Karachi Bakery, Chota Bean, Oris, Pullareddy, and Ashwini Hair Oil are just a few of the many noticeable Indian brand names that Rajesh sir has helped to come with the right image, branding, and strategy. For any firm that would like to unleash its full IPR potential, he is the right professional to consult, and his promised success can be clearly seen in the many firms has made shining examples thanks to their profit surge. So we are very glad to have your presence here, Mr. Rajesh Garu, and I request you to enlighten the audience and educate the audience on IPR. And once again, we are very much thankful to you to be on this occasion. Thank you, sir. Please continue the session.
Thank you so much, Mr. Srirama Garu, and it's a lengthy introduction for me. Thank you so much for that privilege. And I thank Dr. Ravindranath Garu and Dr. Hanumant Rao Garu and Mr. Vasudeva Garu. Thank you so much for the opportunity given to talk about IPR in Mathrusri. It's a privilege for sharing the platform along with you. Along with me, my business partner, Mr. Aditya Saha, is like my brother, and we have started together this business. His expertise and experience in patent, he have multiple or multinational applications process on patent. He'll be take over the patent subject. So let me start giving a thought process, or I'll share my experience on IPR. Also sharing the journey of my entrepreneur journey, what I learned, which may help many of the students. Okay, so I would like to start with a question to all the students that let it be an interaction session. So you can answer me in the chat box. So it will be more active, and you can get some good important points over here. So how many of you want to start a business or to invent something or start a startup? So you can type I in the chat box so that I will know how many are going to start. Wow. That's great. That's great. Okay. So I'll share my experiences in
Rajesh sir, small interruption, sir. I request all the audience to please switch on your video once to take one photograph, sir, before starting the session, so that there won't be any interruption in the middle. Please turn on your video once, all the participants in the Zoom meeting, so that we'll take one photograph. Okay, you can continue.
Okay. So I can share my PPT here, right?
Yeah, you can share.
Actually, can you please?
Yeah,
host.
one second. Yes, sir. Now you can. Is it available, sir?
Yeah, you can all view my screen.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear, right? Perfect. Right. So when you start a business, or you're planning to start a startup, or a few things in my experience, what I gained, to give a thought on it. Before starting, you should have a mindset of, have an attitude of don't give up anything. Like I'll give an example of Thomas Alva Edison. He invented bulb or electricity in the year 1878. So his son asked, Dad, before inventing this electricity or bulb, you failure 10,000 times. But he answered him that, no, son, I got to know 10,000 times how the bulb cannot work. See, that is the attitude. Don't give up. Another incident, the same gentleman said, there is a fire incident in R&D department. So those times they record everything, they write things on the research materials. The entire thing got a fire. The person he asked, boss, you invested a huge amount of time to develop and you recorded, all the records are in fire, it has become ashes. He said the same thing, that so all my mistakes are got fired and become ashes. See, that is the attitude. So don't give up if you want to start up a business. When you are into entrepreneur, every day you face a lot of challenges. It's kind of a roller coaster. All right. So when you face every challenge, you become a stronger person. So face challenges. That is an important thing I learned in my life on the entrepreneur journey. And when you come to start or invent something new, address a solution. Address a solution or give a solution for a problem. Like I'll give an example to you. An example of WhatsApp. So we can say that our life has become before WhatsApp as well as after WhatsApp. So before WhatsApp, like we want to share one document or a video or a pic, you need to spend a lot of time for it. But WhatsApp made it very easy. Why WhatsApp is so familiar and fastly reached every public? It is part of our life because it is so simple. So keep your mind to develop a technology. It is simple to use it, and it address the problem. Address the problem of the public. Okay, the common public. So there you can get a get a good invention on it. And one more important things. Actually, I couldn't. Yeah, fine. In more important things, okay, you invented, you come out with a right solution. Before going to the market, all your legal documents should be perfect. Like, you are presenting your project to some business owners or investors. Make sure the legal bonding is covered by signing NDA or whatever it is, right? The legal, like suppose you develop a product, you're approaching a manufacturer to manufacture that particular product, you should have a proper condition document to bind up that they will not manufacture for somebody else. Or if you are recruiting a people, a proper employment agreement. All right. Apart from protecting the IP, you need to bond the people with a lot of agreements which covers. Okay, that is one. So you developed a product, you identified a solution, you are launching a product. The next thing is that branding or marketing, reaching to the public. That is a major area. I have a question now here. You can see two brands. iPhone, you all know about it. So somebody has launched a brand for a phone, iFruit. Which one you choose? Can I get an answer in chat box? Is it iPhone or iFruit? You can say IP or IF. I'm looking for some activity so that I know that, okay, you are attending the session. All right. So many of them choose iPhone. Why? So you trust in them. All right. And it's created a brand image and it created a value. And iPhone means it's an image. Okay. I can understand some of your friends, they take before iPhone, they say hi. Then after buying a phone, they say that hi. Have you seen the logo here? So that is an image people carry. Okay, so the company is marketed iPhone as an image of a person. All right. So when you start a business, who's going to be your brand ambassador? Who's going to be your Amitabh Bachchan? So when you start your business, you're going to be your brand ambassador for your product or business. You're going to discuss with your family, you're talking about your product, you're discuss with your friends, you're going to discuss with your business associates, partners. So for my business, I'm the brand ambassador. Let me quickly talk about what we do. Ours is an IP firm. We are placed in 5 cities. We are serving more than 500 clients. We process more than 2,000 applications, and we have associated with more than 5 countries. So we have awarded for a best IP top promising 20 firms in patent in India by Silicon India. And we have awarded for a Pride of Hyderabad by Language and Cultural Department of Telangana in 2019. And we also are a knowledge partner for TSIC, Telangana Innovation Cell. And we have collaborated with many of IP attorneys in various countries to take over or take care of the IPR in various countries. And IPR, let me cover, I understood from Akshay that already you have an understanding about basic about IP, what is trademark, what is patent, and what is industrial design. Let me give little more point on it. I feel this will add in your business journey or entrepreneur journey, something will helpful for you. So let me start with it is very basic understanding that what is intellectual property rights, a tangible asset and intangible asset. So a tangible is kind of car or building or whatever product you can able to touch and feel. Intangible, which is from intellectual assets. What is from your intellectual? We say that intellectual assets or intellectual property to own it. You have a brand, you have a property or land. If you don't register, you don't have any value. Am I right? But you have a brand. If you don't register, the same thing, you will not get any value for it. Or if you have an IP, if you don't register, you will not get any value for it. To create a value, you need to get it registered. It's very important in business era. So I'll just run through the basics about trademarks. So why you need to have a trademark? You're going to invest huge amount of time and money and effort to develop a brand. So all your investment goes to a brand. Okay. So under trademark, you can have an exclusive rights on the brand name. The word, I'll say, you can see Coca-Cola as a word is protected. We cannot use Coca-Cola in any form. The Karachi Bakery logo is registered. And the trademark can be a letter also, like KFC as a letters, and numerals like 711 or 555. Those things are registered. And captions. So you create a caption for your company, like example, have a break, have a Kit Kat, or I'm loving it, or just do it. These are captions. It take over the brand. It represent the company or brand. Once you register your trademark, it is valid for 10 years. Every 10 years, you have to renew it. And the registering a trademark, you have an exclusive rights, and it's create a trust and goodwill among the public. How you choose iPhone because of the trust what they have built it, and differentiate the products. What is your product? What is other products? Recognizing the quality, or it's an asset, and it's a valuable, licensable, saleable asset. I'll give a small example about the Flipkart. The Flipkart brand established, and it is took over by Walmart in the year 2018. The total value of that acquisition, it's went up to 16 billion. Out of 16 billion, 4.7 billion only for their trademark assets. So you can understand how important to protect a brand, or how important to have a ownership on the brand. It is not just a protection, you need to own it. Okay, it means the value of the total transaction, around 30% goes to the brand. Imagine that you are building a brand and suddenly the Flipkart changed to something else. Will you buy? You don't. because you don't know how the service offered or the quality of the product. All right. So brand building is most important, and protection of brand and creating an IP asset, it's most important. See, the journey of Flipkart, so it will help you when you are in startup. Okay, how the startup grow and how much you dedicate, how much you should be innovative, how should be updated in the market. The Bansal friends, they've started this Flipkart in the year 2007, and they started with selling books. An interesting update that or information that the first buyer of a product from Flipkart, do you have anyone have an idea who is from whom, from where? He is from Telangana. I couldn't see any chat activities. However, and they got a funding, and they launched a cash on delivery mode in the year 2010, and they launched mobile app in the year 12, and they introduced the next day shipping guaranteed. Okay, they appointed, recruited 180 candidates from IIT campuses. So getting a right people to develop a business, and they raised a fund up to 11 billion, and they launches the big billion day in the year 2014. Then finally, in the year 2018, it is took over by Walmart. So this is a right example. So when you do a startup, so it is not only inventing something new. So how we are placing into the market, how we are reaching to the public is most important. And addressing, you need to understand the demand, what is there in a demand. And you cannot come out, okay, I develop, I need to sell it. No, you need to understand the demand. A right example, I can say WhatsApp as well as to create a demand. Creating something demand, like an example, Himami, they launched Boro Plus face cream for men's. So many years, men's, we don't use any creams. Now men's want to groom up. So they started marketing and branding it. So they created a demand. Likewise, shampoo. In older ages, there's no shampoo, only soaps are in our house. Now, without shampoo, there's no house. So they created a demand. So that is also very important in business world. Another big success story by the startups, the OYO. The owner of the OYO, the founder of OYO, Mr. Ritesh Agarwal, at the age of 18 years, like you, started Oravel Stays in 2012. It's a budget. Why he started? He felt, the budget totals are not giving a basic needs, even a soap or a towel or a cleanliness or a TV. The basic needs a person to stay, it is not available in the budget total. So he understood there is a gap. So I need to fill it. So he started, come out with an idea of Oravel Stays. And in 2013, he changed the brand to Oravel Stay to OYO. And he raised a funding around 4 crores from Lightspeed Ventures partners. And in 2017, they launched OYO Township. And OYO started their workspaces in the year 2019. End of 2020, the OYO rooms valued around 10 billion US dollars is valued, the brand value. You can see how big value it is. Now it is reduced because of the pandemic. It comes around, it's around $8 now, for your information. See, under trademark, there are various things can be protected. It is not only a brand name. There are various type of application you have it. Like you can register, you can have an exclusive right for the word, or you can have as I said, letter, numerals for sound. It's something interesting part. You can hear the sound. This sound is got registered. And likewise, Britannia, ting, ting, ting. Those kind of sound also, the signature tools can be registered under trademark. Sorry. just a minute. I think just a second. Sorry for this hiccup. Sometimes technology make us nervous. Yeah, I think I'm here. And the service industry can protect it under trademark, the logos and the shapes. You can see the shapes and the colors, color combinations, the collective mark, the bigger companies are Reliance and all, they make an application in all the sectors. Yes. So you can use as symbols to identify the public or other competitors, that when you apply under trademark, if you are into product, you're selling a product or promoting a brand for a product, you can use TM symbol. And if you're into service industry, say hospital or restaurants, any kind of service industry, you can use SM. But in India, many of them use TM only because there's no much awareness on it, but nothing wrong. For using SM, it falls under Trademark Act. Once you have a registration, you can use R within the circle. It means you are the registered owner for a particular mark. So you have every legal rights if someone copy a brand similar to that, or adding prefix or suffix, like adding new, Sri, those also on objectable grounds, or phonetically resemble, like Pepsi, PEPSI, instead of SI, I say PEPSY. It is not allowed. So you have an exclusive rights against the misuser. Imagine you develop the brand, but you fail to register. What will happen? And definitely it is not a mandatory act. So government will not say that you should not do a business. It is your wish to own it or not own it. But if you don't register, what will happen? We have a classical example in Hyderabad. I'll go with locally so you can able to connect it well. There is two major brands. One is under vegetarian segment, one is under non-vegetarian segment. See, once upon a time, for a vegetarian segment, Santosh Dhaba is a very popular brand in Hyderabad. As per my knowledge, it may be spread across other places also. And for non-vegetarian, Bawarchi is a brand. It is there in RTC Crossroad. But what happened? They failed to protect their brand and they allowed people to copy it and misuse it, or using it. They allowed them. They said that, okay, no one can touch the brand. Now the present scenario is that no one knows about Santosh Dhaba, which is the original Santosh Dhaba. But you may see the duplicates, they use original Santosh Dhaba, Balaji Santosh Dhaba. Whatever left and right center, they've added prefix. Similarly for Bawarchi also. You can see all kind of... Yeah, actually. Okay, but I'm running through, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure. Some request from Akshay. I need to add some more participant. Actually, you let me know when to start.
Yes, sir. 1 second. So I can actually see the presentation, sir. You can continue with the presentation.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just talking about the examples of the brands which are not protected, and it is diluted the mark. The owner of this real Santosh Dhaba, he lost his brand. The second generation, they will not know which is the original Santosh Dhaba. Or other side, Bawarchi also, I know because I had food in Bawarchi in RTC. But next generation, they will not know which is the original Bawarchi, because Green Bawarchi or Your Friend Bawarchi or iTech Bawarchi, those are prominent in the market. So this is the original Bawarchi and this is the original. They lost their brand image, or the brand is diluted in the market. So another example is that Xerox. Sorry. So Xerox, it's become a term, but actually it's a business brand name. And Thermocol, it's a brand name, but it became a term. So we go to a Xerox center and say that give me a Xerox, but the printer, they take a print from Canon machine. So it's supposed to be a photocopy, but it is reached to the public, it is Xerox, give me a Xerox. All right, so same way, we don't know what is the technical name of thermocol, or Jeep is a brand name. Okay, yeah, and yeah. So another classic example how people are clever to duplicate the name. So it's an amazing post I've received in Facebook or WhatsApp, I think so. A to Z they covered. AFC, BFC, CFC. For everything there is some meaning they've created. So it's that is where if you have a brand, it needs to be protected. If someone using it, you need to take an action against to them. And when you need to keep it in your mind when you create a brand, like when you start your company, you need to keep in your mind that certain things to be addressed. Like while naming a company, check that the name of the company is available in domain, or it is available under trademark. Or if you are creating a brand name, you check whether it is available for you or if someone else got registered. If you don't do that check, future it will be a trouble for you. I'll give another example. One of my client faced is also a startup, a good startup. I'm sorry, messing up. It's a good startup. They started a business and they got a first round of funding and they developed and they marketed a lot. And they reached a second level of getting a fund from another investor. Exactly at the time of receiving a fund, the trademark application received an opposition from another foreign company. Hello, I can hear you can all hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I think you can hear till this, right?
Yes, yes. We have done with this.
Right. So I'm just giving an example of a company, they got a first round of funding from a company, they developed a brand. The second level of funding they're supposed to receive at the time, they received an opposition from another party that the brand should not be used because it is registered by us. So the investor failed to funding on second round. Then they did a complete exercise of changing a new brand and they developed, then they got a second round of funding. So when you develop a brand, you should be very careful of choosing a right brand. Okay, and there are basic, based on basic grounds, you should avoid choosing your brand. Example, if you are launching a product, if you are choosing a brand, it's expressing the nature. Like smart TV, for a TV, you cannot make a brand called smart TV. Or if you're selling a packaged drinking water, you can choose brand as a drink or water. It is directly describing the nature of the product. So the registry will not allow you to get the registration. Or the exclusive indication, like super, best, A1, number one. These all are non-registrable brands. And choosing goddess or generic terms like Sri Sai Baba or Balaji, Sri Krishna, it's not easy to get the registration. Or similar brand like CK already exists. I'll come out with CK with some other term. I give some justification on CK. Chandru Krishna, it cannot be. And the government emblems, symbols or flags, the Bharat, those kind of name cannot be chosen. Or geographical indication, yes, if it can be owned by a particular association who produce those products. So keep in your mind to choose a brand. It should be a good brand. It should be coined, or it should not be following these grounds. Or deceiving a brand like Adidas. Instead of Adidas, I will come out with Abibus. We are very smart. Even you can see how smart or public. Instead of R, they kept Smiley, become Abhibas now. So this need to be avoided. So you'd have seen now, I mean, there is a brand in it. See, the strongest brand, when you invent a name, or if you coin a name, you get a very strong brand image in the market, or you can have an exclusive or monopoly rights on it. See, Oyo, it is from on your own. Okay, so there's no meaning on Oyo, but only one Oyo in the globe. So the company have an exclusive monopoly rights on the brand Oyo. Similarly, there is a brand in it like Cisco. It is from San Francisco. The partners of Cisco started their company in San Francisco. So they named it Cisco. So only one Cisco in globe because it is a coined or invented name. Similarly, our own Amul, it is from Anand Milk Company. Sorry again.
Sir, can you reshare the presentation as
okay, you can see, okay. I'm sorry. So I need to stop and reshare again?
Yes, sir.
So you can see the presentation.
The slide is not changing.
Oh, I'm sorry for it. So can you please make me host now? Yeah. Okay, you're controlling now, no? Okay, actually.
Is it visible, sir, now?
Yeah, I can.
Sure. Okay.
We can go to next slide.
Yes.
I think I covered this. So how Oyo from On Your Own and Cisco from San Francisco. So the names are coined or invented. They have monopoly rights on it. So when you choose a name, make sure there is no meaning in it, or it is not from dictionary, or it is not at least generic, and avoid those grounds of descriptive or generic, or it is similar to an existing brand. Those things to be avoided, because it's very important to choose a right brand, because all your effort and hard work and time, money goes on that particular brand. After developing for 5 years, then if you want to change it, again, it's recreating the whole exercise. So from the day one, choose right thing and record it properly, apply it and own it, then you start. Okay, can you move to next slide, actually? Yeah, well-known brand, like, we call us well-known brand, which brand can create a secondary meaning for it. If I say Coca-Cola, I don't need to explain what it is. If I say Bata, I don't need to say that Bata is a shoes. Bata means you know that it is a shoe, or Cadbury's. It's created a secondary meaning. The brand which is so popular or exists in market, they are called well-known brand. Okay, there is a static like Oyo. It's a startup. Or Byju's, it became a well-known brand now in short period of the years because of aggressive marketing and the market presence. Okay, go to next slide. Yeah, so here I request Mr. Aditya Saha to take over. So it's better let him express his view on patent. Aditya, can you please take over?
Yeah, thank you, Rajesh. Hello and good morning to all the respected dignitaries and engineering students. And on behalf of myself, Rajesh and BizRights, we thank you for giving this opportunity, for having us here. Now, just to give you an introduction about myself, like you all engineering students, I have completed my BTech in Electronics and Communication, along with a Master's in Intellectual Property and Arbitration. I have also completed my law degree. Just to give an idea about the work, what we have done for patents, like we have worked on more than 1,000 patent projects in India and other countries. We work right from the ideation stage to the global search and then to drafting and filing of a patent and thereafter the whole prosecution of the whole matter to the grant of a patent. Actually, I was always so fascinated with innovations. And as you know, necessity is the mother of all inventions. Most of the inventions have come from the requirement of a particular product. Now, just to give you a basic idea, I think you must have already read about patents, what is a patent and basic, but still I would like to add some points on what is a patent. Basically, a patent is a government right given by the government of India or of any particular country to the citizens of that country for exchanging the innovation in writing. Like, for example, if you have a particular idea, you can write down your idea in a piece of paper. There are certain guidelines on how to draft a patent. And once you extend it properly on the paper, you file it to the government of India. The government of India examines your patent application. And if they feel, they'll do some checks on it. And if they feel that your patent application has got innovation and novelty, then they'll grant it to you for a period of 20 years. So that is how a patent is granted by the government of India to any citizen of this country. Now, one important factor, what you should not do before discussing your idea to anyone is that first you should file a patent application. For example, if you're a startup or individual or a student, if you have a certain innovative idea and you wanted to go to someone and talk about it for getting funding and so forth and so on, it's always better to file a patent application first. And then you go to the authorities where you want to go and talk. Can you move to the next slide? Now, before talking about this story, I would like to give you some more understanding. So why do you need a patent? I have already told you what is a patent, but why do you need a patent? See, when you are young or you are a startup, you come out with so many ideas, fascinating ideas, innovative ideas, and you want to protect them. But what happens if someone copies those ideas or those products, those innovative products? Then you have got no protection for your product. So the main intention of getting a patent in your country or other countries is that the government gives you a monopoly right for 20 years so that you can sell your products at your price, at your, the way you want it to, so that you can stop other competitors from copying your product and selling it in a much lesser price and spoiling your market. So that is very important, that you should understand why do you need to file a patent. That is the number one reason. Number two, it increases the valuation, like patent valuation, along with other valuations of IP, like trademark valuation, industrial design valuation, copyright valuation. Together, we call it as the IP valuation, intellectual property valuation. So as you can see in the, as Mr. Rajesh was telling some time back, the Flipkart and Walmart story. So there you could see the IP valuation was close to 30%. So that is how important is the valuation from the IP perspective for any company. It can be a product company, it can be a service company, but IP always adds to the valuation of a company. So when you file patents, when you file other forms of IP, definitely the valuation of the company increases at least 5 to 10 folds. Now here, this is a very important question. If you can move to the other question, that can an idea be protected? Yes, ideas can be protected, but there are certain terms and conditions. Like the idea can be protected when you present that idea in a particular format of, a process, a method, a composition, or a product. So, for example, if you go to the next slide. Now, Uber. Now, I think most of you have used Uber once in your life. So what does Uber stand for? It's basically a platform. It's an idea of connecting drivers to commuters. Earlier, we had to go to the taxi stand and get the taxi. It was a hassle for everyone. When Uber came into the market, they have eliminated that hassle. They have really given you a magic wand, like Harry Potter, which he had his magic wand, similar to that. So whenever you want to go to any place, you just take up the app, book your cab and go. So this was only possible because Uber came out with this idea of connecting commuters with the drivers. Now it's an idea, but the idea was presented in a particular mobile app. Now, how do you protect that mobile app? There are ways, like you file copyrights, you file trademark for the name, you file copyrights for the source code of the mobile app. Then if there are certain unique methods and processes in the whole software that can be protected by patents. But again, it depends on a lot of things, how you file a patent. So there are a lot of things on how this can be protected. Like when Ola came into the market, Ola is into the similar industry, but they have also protected their mobile app with their certain copyrights. So there are always ways how to file for your copyrights or for your protection of your particular product. It can be a mobile app or it can be a product-based thing. Now, if you look here, it is just to give you an idea that what can be patented. Basically, I'll tell you a very rough idea. Wherever you are sitting right now, any product you are seeing in front of you was once patented. So anything under what was created by man is a patented product. Now, patents are only applicable for or valid for 20 years. After that, it's free for use for anyone. But for 20 years, it's a monopoly right given by the government of India. So here you can see machines can be patented, electronics, compositions. Compositions, basically, it's for pharmaceutical industries, processes, methods, medicine, chemicals, or products. So basically, anything which is innovative can be protected. But yes, there are certain exceptions to it, which I'll tell in some other session because there are a lot of exceptions which needs to be understood. Can you move to the next slide? Now, who can file for a patent? Startups, scientists, societies, education societies, any legal entities, companies, entrepreneurs, scientists, any individuals, designers, inventors. So, anyone can file for a patent, provided they file it in the right way. Can you move to the next slide? Now, what are the legal requirements for filing a patent? So there are basically 3 legal requirements. Now, this is very important for you to understand because whenever you are preparing for filing a patent, these 3 things should be kept in mind. Number 1, innovation, novelty. Whatever you are creating should be new across the world and not just in India. Please remember, your innovation should not be only new in India. For example, if you feel like, say for example, Tesla. Now, Tesla electric vehicles, they are made in US. But that does not mean that you can make Tesla electric vehicles in India without Tesla's permission, because they have got patents over their electric vehicles. Now, if you want to file something in India, it should be more efficient than Tesla electric vehicles. Only then you can get a patent in India or anywhere, any other countries. So that part covers the novelty part. Number 2, industrial application. So any product or process you are making should have an industrial application to it. I think industrial application, it's a self-explanation for its definition. So I'll not go to a detail of it. And number 3, non-obvious. Now, non-obviousness is a very subjective matter because what is non-obvious to you may not be non-obvious to me. So, for example, a person who is an engineer, for him, an engineering invention may be obvious, but the same invention can be non-obvious to a person of arts. So, for example, if I see a electric vehicle and I create a similar electric vehicle, so that may act as an obviousness thing. So we have to overcome this non-obviousness part with our understanding and clarity. So there are a lot of details to it, which we'll take it up in some other session. But basically, these 3 are the requirements for filing a patent. I'll repeat again: novelty, industrial application, and non-obviousness. Can you move to the next slide? Now, these are a few examples, as I was just previously telling, that whatever you are seeing in your room or wherever you're sitting, everything was patented once at a time. So you can see here, we have given 3 examples of very old innovations. A water tap, I think basically it was innovated some 70 or 80 years back. You can see the water. 1990. Yes.
Patented in November 1990.
So it's almost some 90 years or probably 100 years. So then the second one, you can see it's a revolver. So even this was innovated long back. And the third one is the sewing machine. So these are basically patent drawings to just give you a rough idea, how a patent drawing looks like and how we file a patent, for the drawings part. We explain each and every part of the drawing with particular numbers and explain them in our description. Can we move to the next slide? Now, as we have already told that a patent lasts for 20 years, but once a patent is granted, every year you have to pay renewal fees to the government so that you can keep your patent alive. Like unlike trademark, because trademark, once you get, you are getting a validity for 10 years and then you continue it or every 10 years. But for patent, every year you have to pay renewal fees. Now, coming back to, some of the interesting stories, I felt like sharing, like if you can go to the Coca-Cola can slide. Yeah, see, there are a few interesting patent stories which I would like to share with you. Like, I think Coca-Cola started in the 1800s by two brothers. So they were already distributing Coca-Cola. It was a hit product across the world, and they were transporting Coca-Cola in glass bottles, if you remember. Like in our childhood, we used to have in glass bottles. Now you see most of the plastics and all and cans, but we used to have glass bottles previously. So what happens in the early 1900s? The Coca-Cola brothers went to a German, engineering expo. So there they were looking for something. They were looking for a particular way of storing Coca-Cola on tin cans, like which in today's world you know as can bottles. So they were identifying opportunities how to store the Coca-Cola in can, but they were having a very tough issue with the opening of the can. Like they were not getting any particular device on how to open the can and close. So they went, the Coca-Cola brothers, they went to a German engineering expo. There, a lot of people, a lot of engineers have showcased or exhibited their innovations, which were patented, of course. So they came across with a special opener. It was a very small device, and they felt that this device could be used in their cans to open the can. So they approached the inventor of that opener, and they wanted, the Coca-Cola brothers wanted to buy that particular can opener. And to their surprise, the engineer, the German engineer, did not wanted to sell it. They tried their best, but he did not want to sell it. But at the end of the negotiations, the engineer struck a deal with Coca-Cola. The engineer presented that what you do is, I'll give you my license for using this patent. You can use this product for your cans, but in return, you need to pay me 1 cent per Coca-Cola can sold worldwide for the next 20 years. So if you do a calculation in today's world, that person ended up earning almost 90 crores per day for the next 20 years. So that is how even the slightest and the smallest of innovations can help a particular individual to have monopoly rights and to give credit to their intelligence and innovations. So that is very important that you create something innovative, but at the same time protect it before approaching any startup, any angel investors or any banks. It's very important that you protect it. So from this story, I am sure you can understand the value of filing patents and protecting your innovations. Now, number two, one more story I have is a story of the Google and Motorola story. Back in 2012, if you have heard, Google bought Motorola for a sum of $12 billion, wherein Motorola did not even have a market value of $1 billion. Motorola was not doing very good at that time. But still, Google bought Motorola for $12 billion. It was only because Motorola was a market leader in telecommunications. They had 40,000, they had a portfolio of 40,000 patents, Motorola. So Google, they just entered the Android market and they wanted to take heads on with Apple. So what they did, they bought Motorola for $12 billion only to have ownership of the portfolio of 40,000 patents. So here, Motorola as a company did not have a valuation even 1 billion, but due to their huge portfolio of patents, they could sell their company for $12 billion to Google. So this is again one more example how patents help you for your valuation. The third story is Samsung versus Apple. I'm sure most of you have heard about it. Back in 2007, when Apple came out with its first iPhone, Samsung was very, proactive in bringing out a similar design with the Galaxy models of their phones, which was very similar to the design of the first iPhone. So iPhone had industrial design registered and patents registered for that particular phone, which Samsung blatantly copied and sold. So there was a huge litigation between Apple and your Samsung. So at the end in 2012, after all the litigation, the court asked Samsung to pay $2 billion to Apple as infringement cost. So that is again how patents have helped Apple to get back the amount what Samsung have cost them due to their copy. And the last point I want to end with one thing. Okay, I'll take the questions after this. Last thing what I want to say, there are 4 companies which have hit recently the market cap of more than $1 trillion. Yes, I'm repeating, $1 trillion. The Saudi Arabia oil company, it's called Aramco. It has hit the market cap of $2 trillion. Number 2, Apple. It has hit a market cap of $1 trillion. Number 3, Amazon. It has hit a market cap of $1 trillion. And number 4, Microsoft. Again, it has hit a market cap of $1 trillion. Now, these 4 companies share almost $5 trillion of market capitalization. Now, if you look at here, more than 30% of 5 trillion, that's almost close to 1.5 trillion, that comes from their IP. The value of 1.5 trillion goes to their IP. So I just want to emphasize again that IP is very important. If you are starting a company, if you are an innovator, if you are a research scholar, and as you all are engineering students, you have brilliant minds which keeps coming out with a lot of innovations. I always advise you, think properly when you come out with your ideas, go and file patents. We are always here to help you out, but always file your patents, document things properly so that it is properly executed. Thank you. And I'll just take this question. I have one question. How to file a patent for electric product or idea or an IoT device? The students are working on it. Excellent question. As you can see that IoT devices are very new in the market. It's been on the trending like for the last 5 or 6 years. So basically, whether it's an electrical product or an idea or an IoT device, it has to be presented in a product form or a process form or a method form. So for example, if you have an idea on an electrical product, so definitely we have to give a shape to the product. Like either it has got a particular shape to it, or what does it does. Like for example, if it's doing a particular action, electrical action. So we have to identify what electrical action it's doing, what kind of power it is giving to a particular product. Is there the innovation is in the product itself or in the electrical connections? If there is innovation in the electrical connections, or how it is connecting the devices in the IoT format, how it is connecting to the cloud, how how efficient it is. For example, you already have an IoT product which is doing a similar thing, but your product is doing the same thing with more efficiency. Then that is a patentable subject. You can file patents for those. Either your product has to be new, or it has to do a better job than the existing product, a significant better job. For example, a particular product, electrical product or IoT device is doing a particular work today, and you have come out with the same product, but your product is doing that particular work at a 30% or 40% or 50% efficiency. Then that, yes, we can definitely for that efficiency part can file for a patent. So is my answer clarified your doubt? Please type yes or no. Okay. I'll. Okay. See, the kind of research work what needs to be done is basically what we can suggest you. You do a particular patent search, a global patent search. You don't restrict only to India. There are certain websites available, but I always suggest not to do it only by yourself, but also, approaching proper IP attorneys so they can guide you with respect to how to search and what are the points you have to keep in mind, what are the loopholes you have to keep in mind, what are the technology sectors you have to keep in mind, because patent searching is not like a Google search that you search in Google and get the results. Patent search is a specialized search which needs a lot of technical incorporation. So it's a combination between yourself and the IP attorney so that you get the best desired results for your technology, and based on those results, we can identify what is similar to your technology and what is not. So based on that, you can always refine your technology and file for patents. Any other questions? Okay, you can post your questions, we'll answer it shortly. Meanwhile, I request Mr. Rajesh to take the rest of the session.
Thank you, Vipach. It's an amazing. I think students would have got a lot of clarity on, protecting or importance about the patent, how interesting subject it is. So another subject in IPR we call as industrial design. Industrial design is mainly on the aesthetic shape of the product. Like in any product, as Mr. Aditya will explain about iPhone versus Samsung, the iPhone design, the outer shape of the iPhone is protected under Industrial Design Act. And another example I can say, the popular bottle design of Coca-Cola bottle is protected under Industrial Design Act. Or if you see a Tupperware bottle, you no need to read the brand. Once you see in length, you can understand this is a company from Tupperware or Kinley bottle or Aquafina. Not only bottles, any product with the shape, unique shape with a novel can be protected under Industrial Design Act. And it is valid for 10 years and 5 more years can be renewed in further process. Can you go to next slide, Akshay? So these are a few examples are protected. Like, you can see the interesting fact, you have a good day. You can see the smiley curve. It is protected under Industrial Design Act. The chocolate design of love, it is protected, the chat designs. So any product with the unique way of design or aesthetic, it protected under Industrial Design. These are the examples which are filed, like the beer mug, it is protected under Industrial Design Act. The Harley Davidson bike, and you can see the iPhone design. You can see a signature of Steve Jobs. It is protected under Industrial Design Act. So the shape, see, you create something for your business intellectually, you can own it. If you're branding it or if you're marketing it, if you're selling it, if something in it, you need to own and have a value of it. Yeah. The aspect is copyright under intellectual property rights. If any creative works can be protect or enjoy the ownership under intellectual property rights under Copyright Act. You're writing a book, you can copyright that. If you're writing a source code for a software or the algorithm or website design, or if you're creating a logo, or if you're working on a packaging designs and the content, if you're writing a content, or if you're recording a music or soundtrack, it can be copyrighted. Or if you're filming movies, can be copyrighted. The copyright is valid for 60 years, but it is not mandatory to claim your rights. As per copyright rule, whoever publish first, they are the rightful owner. They have copyrights for that. Still, why you need to have a copyright registration from the authority that you will be having a prima facie evidence to say that I am the owner for. There's a document with you. It will be very easy if you come across any litigation in future. And these are other examples, like, so you can see the Mickey Mouse character, it is registered under Copyright Act. And one more important information is based on subject, it is valid change. The copyright is minimum validity of 60 years. See, Mickey Mouse, what they did, they had a rights for 60 years. To next version, they filed it their 3D version. Okay, initially it was in 2D, then 3D, that is protected under copyright. So they increase their lifetime. Okay, so if you create anything in the form of material, you can enjoy the copyright ownership on it. You can go to next slide. Another classic example, how much value you file it or own the IPs. See, it's a popular action, like Saffron action in 2018. The iconic Kali goddess painting is just created by Mr. Sahib Mehta, who passed away in the year 2009. It became fifth most expensive painting in India, which is sold for 26.4 crores. Based on the copyrights, the family, the heirs of the family, they got 10% of the value. So before he passed away, he sold the painting, but when it went for an auction, the family got 10% of 26.4 crores. You can see the value out of it. So you do a painting, you make a photograph. If you have a copyrights, you enjoy it. Or you can stop someone if they use it without your consent or permission for a commercial use. Another aspect under intellectual property rights is geographical indication. Any product is popular because of a certain quality, because of the place. Okay, Darjeeling tea, it's famous for the tea because of their soil condition, water, whatever it may be the reason. The quality of a tea is something amazing. So they got a tag of GA indication for Darjeeling tea. This is in India, the first GA mark in India. Why how it helps? Like it support a particular people of a farmers or the art people. Like an example, the Kanchipuram silks. The particular society of people, they will manufacture it. If some foreigners, tourists, they come to India, they will Google it. What all the products are popular or good in India? If it is highlighted, it's a GI mark. So they show more interest to buy those specific products. Even we go for any place and we find what is famous or good, even for a food or even for any products, we go a specific brand, we buy for a remembrance. So if you have a GI mark, it help, the economy, increase the economy of the particular people who make these products. So this is for supporting the particular group of people who produce with their talent, or they produce something good from the region. Okay, so it is called GI tag. It helps for developing the particular, and the ownership can be for an association, not for any individual or any individual independent company. So the group, they need to form an association and file it. So if you come across any place you are living, you find a product, it is very popular or good in, so you can advise them. So they will get a lot of benefit having a tag of GA. We can go to next. See, so whatever we talked for, like, IP, it is for jurisdiction level. Like if you file it in India, you have rights only for India. If you are doing business in other country, there are various platforms to protect your invention, a patent or industrial design or brand or copyright with various platforms. We can cover or designate various countries in applications. So just for an information that application or patent ownership or IP ownership, the jurisdiction specific, whatever countries you are looking for an ownership, you need to process in those countries. So yeah. Thank you for the time, thank you for the given opportunity from myself and Mr. Aditya Saha from entire BizTrade team. If you have any question, you can shoot us. We'll try to answer it. So I think you need to unmute Sriram.
1 second, sir. Do it. Yeah.
Akshay, unmute all so that they can question without interruption. Unmute all. They
yeah.
can unmute themselves and question.
Okay, okay. So if they can also raise their hands, we can unmute them. So or else.
Yeah, you unmute one. I do, sir.
One.
Some people they may not turn on their video. If you unmute all the participants, they can question.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Sir, you can ask questions. I do, sir.
Good morning, sir, Rajesh sir and Aditya sir. Very nice presentation today, basics about IPR and design. Sir, I have a small question. Recently, I have published 2 patents on a few months back. Okay. So, what is the further step? So, there is the both patents are published in IPR, I mean patent published. So what is the next step to will get the whether my patent is a grant or is like what are the next steps we have to follow after the publishing of the patent?
Papa, you can take up this question. Can you unmute Akshay?
Yes, yes, doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Vasudev. First of all, it's very great to know that you have filed 2 patents. That's the first step. May I know the patents you have filed on what technology? Like just
one is the efficient electrical motor design part, and another one is the intelligent hybrid electric vehicle. These are the 2 different topics are there. One is published on the last year 2020 of the January, but till now will not get any suppose questionnaire something what.
Okay.
So what is how many days will be take, that is whether the publication period, and after that how many that means will grant or not, what is the procedure?
Okay. Sure. I'll explain you. See, when you have filed a patent, in the first instance, there is a normally it takes 18 months of time to publish the patent.
Yeah.
Number 1. So once it is published, it goes for examination, but it does not go automatically for examination. You have to file for examination request.
Okay.
By paying a fee.
Okay.
So once you file for examination request, then the government, the department takes it for examination. They'll examine your patent. They will do a global search and see if anything similar is there or not. If nothing is similar, then they'll grant the patent to you. But if they find out something which is similar, they'll give you a objection.
Okay.
So once you get the objection, you have to respond to the objection with clarifying your invention, that how your invention is not similar to other inventions.
Okay.
Once you give them that clarity, if they are accepting it, they'll grant you the patent. If they are still not clarified, they might call for your hearing in the patent office.
Okay.
So you have to represent yourself either by yourself, or you can hire a good IP attorney so that they can represent you in the patent office, explain your particular case to the examiner, and get the grant for you.
Sure, sure.
So once it is granted, then
first person you have to communicate with the patent or other remain. Suppose in the patent having 2 more persons are there, who will communicate? I mean, first person or any person?
See, you must have given some communication address or communication email or phone number, right?
Yeah, first person only.
Yeah. So then that examination report, once it is filed, it will come to that email ID.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But I suggest that it does not automatically goes for examination.
Okay.
You have to file for the examination. Very important. Otherwise, it will get abandoned after some time if you don't file for the examination request.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure. Sure.
Sir, one question. Coming to our title, can you suggest product-based startup ideas where the IPR is required for the students. Can you suggest some product-based startup ideas?
Sir, can you
Where-
clarify the question once?
Yeah, our title is itself the IPR importance on the product-based startup.
Mhm.
So, can you suggest from your side to the students what are the various product-based startups that
Okay,
people can go for patents? Some areas. Can you
Okay.
suggest?
See, one of the product-based startups are Tesla, the electric vehicle company, because they are coming out with a lot of hybrid electric vehicles, the technology, the car itself, the battery systems. So those can be patented, and those are product-based. Okay. Then we can talk about Intel, because Intel comes out with the chips. The chips which comes out after 3 years has already been filed patents right now. So they are very proactive in nature. Then there is STM Microelectronics. That is one more company which files a lot of patents. Then there is Motorola, of course, they are filing a lot of product-based patents. I mean, there are so many product-based patents. These are few of the companies.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Here you're asking the suggestion that in what industry we can students can guide it for developing a product.
Exactly.
See, it is like,
What are the new ideas? New ideas student can areas can focus on that so that they can go for patent level.
Understood. See, here it depends on the market and market demand. I said in the presentation that WhatsApp, the innovation, they identified the problem. So sharing a document or for an effective communication. So made it simple. Okay, so like example, now in my business, I'm looking for a solution to handle the complete team in one app. Okay, so now how easy we have are using WhatsApp, or how effective there are some tools. You come out with some solution. So here the simple thing is that identify a bigger problem where more people are looking for that research to be done. And that angle, you can focus on developing any product or the application.
So at present, there is one emerging area in electric vehicles, as Sir said.
Exactly.
So battery management
It
system
is
or some
not
other,
only
people
vehicle-
can work on that.
Correct. The connected areas, like, if it is electrical vehicle, the charging is in a main next area. The charging points connected to that. Connected industries is a good market.
I would like to add one more, 2 or 3 industries rather. One upcoming technology areas are cryptology. One is cryptology, where people can, there are a lot of innovations happening. One is blockchain, number 2. Like blockchain works with Bitcoin and other coins, and they are using the security layers of blockchain, because going forward, most of the companies are going to use blockchain for their security purposes. And number 3, which is a very upcoming area where people should be focusing, is cryo coolers, like miniature cooling devices. Like if you talk about space shuttles and video in industries where a lot of temperatures are there, so their cryo coolers is the next level of work. Like if you know about quantum computers, quantum computers are the next level of innovations. So people who are working on quantum computers need cryo coolers, because quantum computers are supercomputers. Like in today's world, 10 supercomputers is equals to 1 quantum computer. So for keeping a quantum computer cool, you need miniature cooling devices. Those are called cryo coolers. In India is a very new thing. I have met some innovators who are working on it, but these are very rare right now. Most of the research is taking place in Europe and US, but India is starting right now. So it's a very good area It's an upcoming area for innovation. I'm sure that in engineering minds can, work on this also.
And another example I would like to add, like present scenario of COVID. So if someone come out with a device, if I keep that device, if we can able to get the result he is having a COVID or not, that is the market. That is, you can rule the world.
True.
Okay, testing tools for COVID or health related. So now the peoples are looking, focusing more on health after this COVID effect, how to improve their immune system. So what is demands market we need to look into? And as Bappa said, the futuristic demand, like next 10 years, the petrol vehicles will be banned. Only electrical vehicle is the future. So whatever connected to electrical vehicles or is the market.
I would also like to add one more thing for all the students. Kindly, like this is, I follow this innovator, Elon Musk. So kindly go through his life cycle, what works he has done. If you see his works, he has always worked on the future. Like all the technologies he has brought into the market are solving certain problems which are actually pestering people for a long time. Like when he started with PayPal, people did not have a proper way to transfer funds. But when he came out with PayPal, his first venture, that problem was solved. When, as you know, NASA never gives these projects to any private party or third party. But Elon Musk was the first person to convince NASA to give them the project for space shuttles, for the landing of space shuttles. So and then he took out the problem for electric vehicles, and he is already working on major problems in Australia for batteries, then coal mines, then Hyperloop. There are so many things which he's working on. So kindly go through his innovative startups. I'm sure you will gain a lot of ideas how you can focus your time into what kind of technologies, because he is one person who is working always on the futuristic goals. So kindly go through his innovations.
Sir, a small question. Can the students file the patent only on the idea stage, or suppose they have idea but not yet implemented, but they believe in that?
Yes, we can, but we need to give it a certain kind of shape of a product or a process or a product or a method. Like, for example, I want to go to space. That is an idea, right? But how do you present it? You have to go through, if you want to go to a space, you need a particular transportation device which will take you to space. So you can protect that transportation device. Now, for example, for going in that transportation device, you need a protective suit for you to protect you from other, a lot of factors in the space. So you can protect that particular suit, space suit. So like this, you have to give some shape to your idea, some product shape or a process shape or a method shape. If we just write it's only an idea, then the department will not accept it. In the examination, they will not accept the patent. But if you give them certain kind of shape of a product or a process, then we can file for a patent. Now, adding to it one more thing, the new rules and regulations have come into picture. They'll be soon making it valid. They'll soon be making it as a law that going forward, they may ask you for a prototype anytime during the prosecution. So far, they have not done it, but going forward, they might add that a particular requirement. They might ask for a prototype of your product.
Akshay, Ravindranath sir, our HOD sir wants to speak.
Sir,
Sir, you turn on your video, sir. Ravindranath sir, turn on your video also.
Yes, I am unmuting, sir.
Yeah, sir. 1 second, sir. Your video is audio is not audible.
Sir, please unmute.
Please unmute, sir.
okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Now,
Continue.
So far, I've been listening that it is only for product-based patenting. Can anyone have a lecture, good lecture patented, please?
Sir, a good lecture can be recorded and filed as a cinematographic work under copyright.
Okay.
So that protection you will get as a copyright, but not as a patent.
Copyright.
Yes.
Okay. So we can have a good lecture recorded, and then I can go for it as a copyright.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So any questions from the audience? Any questions from the audience?
I think Mr. Rajesh wants to speak.
Yes. One second.
Yeah, sir, as Mr. Aditya said correctly, you can record the content and you can write the content, or you can record the thing, you can copyright it. Give an example like Byju's, they're creating a lot of content, the video content or script content. These all protected under Copyright Act. Thought to give an example. That's it. Thank you.
Sir, yeah, any more questions?
Okay, can we have some questions from the students?
I think
Any questions from the participants?
I think we clarified many things. We can take it in that way, or there away. How you can reach us? We have a website, www.bizrights.com, or you can reach us with our contact. You can get our contact from Mr. Akshay.
Sure, sir.
If you see our last slide, our contact details and everything are given.
Yep. And if you quickly go through website at www.bizrights.com, you get all the details.
Sir, any more questions, sir? Sharma sir.
So, any questions from the audience? Otherwise, we will wind up the session. Sarita madam.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible. Please turn on your video. Akshay, please. Madam, we are getting some
Yes, sir.
disturbance from your side. Please turn on your video and talk, madam. Okay, please. So if there are no questions from the audience, we'll wind up the session. Madam, getting some disturbance.
I have muted, sir. You can continue.
No. Madam.
Yeah, Madam Nagasai want to have some clarity from us.
Okay, okay.
Sarita madam, she is going to propose a vote of thanks.
I request if audio is a problem, you can write your question on the chat box.
Sir, I think there is some network issue with the madam. So,
Sir, am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible, madam.
Yes.
You can continue. Please propose vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's an honor to have the chance to offer a vote of thanks on the session on importance of IPR for building a product-based startup organized by Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department in association with IIC Matrushri Engineering College. Sir, on behalf of my college and the entire management group, I express my hearty gratitude to both the speakers for sharing their graceful words with us. The honorable and respected guest speaker, V. Rajesh sir, Managing Partner, Bizright IP Partners LLP. Sir, your speech was very rich in information with good live examples in Telangana, sir. You shared a lot of information on IPR with Industrial Design Acts, copyrights, geographical indication, etc. Not only the information, sir, your example of Edison gave us a message to never give up. We surely try to keep it up, sir. We are very thankful for your informative speech, sir, and respected Aditya, sir. You have shared us rich knowledge and speech on patents. Your example of Coca-Cola tin CANS was very interesting, sir, and thank you for clarifying our doubts too. Hope our students have got knowledge based on both product-based startup and patents. It has been a tribute to all the hosts and to host all the members and audience of the session, and I'm thankful to all the participants. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Sir, one question from the audience. Sir, Ravindra, sir, please mute your audio once. I'm getting some disturbance. Yeah, can I get patent from other countries without being the resident of that country? There is a question from the audience. Sai Rohit.
Yes, definitely. You can file a patent and get a patent even if you are not a resident of that country, because there are two ways of filing a patent. One is that you file directly in that country, you file through a PCT app. There's one more way, as Mr. Rajesh was telling, PCT application. So through PCT application, also you can route your application to that country. You need to hire a particular IP attorney in that country, and they will use their address as a local communication address for you and give your permanent address, and then they can file a patent. Then the answer to your question is yes, we can file. Even if you are not a, for example, you want to file a patent in US, but you are not a resident of US, you can definitely file a patent. There is no restriction to that.
I think that answer is clear to all of you. So,
and also I would like to add one more point, since most of you are working with research papers and a lot of journals. What I request is, if you have got a unique idea, in India, what happens whenever you are publishing a journal or a research paper, and after that research paper you are filing a patent, your own research paper will act as a blockage against your patent. So it's very important first you file a patent and then you do any kind of publication, because among researchers it's very common to publish research journals. So many times those research journals has blocked the patent to be granted. So first let's file a patent and then you do the research papers and so forth and so on.
Sir, we have one question from Bangar Babu. How much it costs to file for a patent?
See, now patent, there are multiple ways of filing a patent and multiple cost structures also, depending what kind of technology, complexity is going on, how much research is into it, because this is a subjective thing. This one definitely, once we have a one-to-one thing, we'll explain to the students, because there are a lot of factors into it. Because somewhere you don't need searches, somewhere you need searches, and somewhere you need a different kind of drafting, somewhere you need provisional drafting and complete drafting. So there are multiple factors into it. So definitely we'll when we do a one-to-one with the students, that time definitely we'll take, based on their requirement, we can tell them.
So after vote of thanks, so we are getting questions, sir, again. Sir,
No problem.
Sir, what about a world patent? Is it worth filing?
Okay. First of all, I would like to clarify one thing. Patents are granted as per country and jurisdiction. So there is no way you can get a world patent as such. For example, you need patent in 5 countries, so you have to file in those 5 countries. So there is nothing, there is no application there that you file one application and you get a patent in all the countries. So you need to choose your countries wisely, wherever you are going to do your business or which is important for your work, and file the patents in those countries. Starting with your country of origin. Always suggested that first you file a patent in your country of origin and then you file in the rest of the countries. But again, yes, there is a limitation. After you file in India, say for example, today you file in India, you have got only 1 year time period to file in other countries. Okay. Now, if you need further time, then there is one more way to file a PCT application. So you get additional 18 months time to plan and file in those other countries. But once this time is gone, you cannot file a patent, the same patent in those countries.
Sir, there is a question related to trademark. So generally when tried applying for a trademark on some name, which actually have state name called state name Telangana. So what happened is it got objected, but when we see some other titles like Mumbai Indians or IPL teams, they are having their city name and state name, but it got approved. But how it will be objected when it comes to the other names or other organizations?
See, it is when you make an application for a trademark. See, that is where the experience come in. How you are filing your application. Okay. Yeah, definitely. If you are applying for a trademark for a specific state name or commonly or generic term, they will not accept your application first. So if you would have noticed the existing application like Mumbai Indians or whatever names like Delhi Daredevils, they filed an application along with the logo. All right. And also it is the publication format, not just filing an information, like fill the information, submit the logo. You will not get it like that. You need to create a backup document to prove that you're using this brand, you're developed, and there should be a proper format of application. And when the examination rise, when we receive an objection, how you answer, how you convince the examiner is matters. All right.
Oh, okay,
So
sir.
many of the like example, I processed an application for Suchir India. Okay, Suchir India and its construction company, like way back, long years back, I processed. I know that if you apply for an application Suchir India, we get an objection. Then I suggested my client that you make it single word. Suchir India as a single word, along with the logo.
Okay.
So way of application is matters.
Yes, sir. So there is a next question in the chat. What are the key things we have to mention in a patent file for a service-based startup? Kind of in term of index of a document.
See, now a patent, just to give you a rough idea, a patent consists of the title, the abstract, the background of the invention, the objectives, the advantages, the drawings, the description, the detailed description, and the claims. The claims are the place where you get rights on a patent. Rest of the document is only there to support the claims. Okay. So now, if it's a service, first of all, you have to mention what is the service about. Like you can give a flowchart because service is basically a process of how you are doing a particular thing. So you have to explain the process properly or a method properly. If a software is added to that particular thing, you have to define it in terms of a flowchart or modules, that what type of modules are there, what each module is doing, how each module is interacting with each other, those things. So we have to identify those things and give them a proper description with supported drawings so that the examiner can understand what you are trying to do. I'm just giving you a basic idea because when we go deep into it, there are a lot of other factors into it.
Sir, Sharma, sir.
Yeah. I hope that, sir, we got one more question from Vivek. Sir, what is the average time taken for a patent to be awarded? We, a company, have filed for a patent way back in 2013 and have applied for verification, but have lost track of the process due to other work. What do you suggest we do?
See, first of all, when this is a problem persisting in a lot of places, so that is where we BizRights as a company, we send status updates to every client on a monthly basis. So you are updated with all the status of all your patent, trademark, copyright, industrial design applications, and you know that where your application stands. Having said that, the time when you filed patent 2013 up till 2018, the process of patent prosecution was a very lengthy affair in India. But post 2018, there were certain changes in the department, some certain rules and regulations. So now if you file a patent, your patent gets, if everything is done properly within 1.5 years or 2 years, you get your patents granted. If everything is going, as per the proper rules and regulations. But again, due to the COVID, things have hit a halt button because, due to COVID, a lot of examiners are not able to visit the patent office on a regular way. But yeah, things will be back in normal in short time. But yes, what we can do is like if you can share your patent with us, patent number, then we can always check and tell you that what is the current status and what can be done now. Because based on the current status only, we can give you the next set of steps.
Also, add to one point, the prosecution time, it varies, depends on the complexity of the case. It can be 1.5 years or it can be 5 years. Okay, so how strong your technology, how properly you filed your application, the drafting, how efficient you're drafting, that is matters. It's based on various factors.
Okay, I hope that the questions are completed. After vote of thanks, again, I once again thank, first of all, Mr. Akshay for arranging such wonderful speakers on this occasion, because first we thank Institution Innovation Council for giving us the opportunity to conduct various programs under different titles. So they are giving a right path to us to educate both students and faculty fraternity. And I once again thank the management, faculty, and all my faculty members and professors from other departments, and it was an opportunity to conduct such a wonderful event. Thank you, one and all. And I thank all the participants, those who have availed this opportunity through this Zoom calling meeting and as well as YouTube. I thank all the people to avail this for availing this opportunity. Even those who are unable to avail this opportunity, then go through the YouTube, through the links or phone numbers or mail.
So there's a network issue, I think.
Speakers. Thank you, Ananda. Mr. Akshay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, actually, your voice is not audible the last few seconds. Yes. So the people who have not availed today's session can access this session through the YouTube live link which we have sent, and it will be published as a video. All the necessary contact details or the other description of the video will be mentioned in the YouTube video, and this will also be shared with the UN email.
That's what I mentioned. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akshay, for connecting Motorola. It's a good moment for us also. It's a good experience with associating with. And big thank from Bistrate's IP partners. Thank you so much for this wonderful platform.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So we can leave?
Yeah, you can leave.
Yes, sir. Ending the meeting. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Bopal. Yeah, we'll catch.